Cheers.
We've been missing for a couple weeks, E.
We've been MIA.
You know, you had to do some traveling. We had to do some things to catch up on, but we're back here now. Thanksgiving right around the corner. We're thankful for everyone.
Yeah, we're thankful for all 6 of you.
Yeah, no, but the TikTok's where it's at.
I'm not thanking the TikTok.
I'm thankful for the TikTok. I don't see. You read the comments too much. I don't even care that
I'm
much.
just kidding. I'm just kidding. Thankful for the TikTok. Thankful for anyone.
We're thankful for everything. I'm thankful for Eric. He's not thankful for me.
I never said that.
I'm saying it for you.
You're putting words in my mouth.
I am.
See, that's what you do best.
Yep.
I am thankful for you, Alex.
Thank you. I'm thankful for 1800 Reposado, Don Julio Reposado,
Yep.
and all Reposados throughout the country and the world.
How about just all tequilas?
No.
How about just alcohol?
No.
So you can't be thankful for that?
No.
There's some countries who do not have alcohol.
They don't need it. If they don't have it, they don't need it. They have bigger issues, it seems like, if they haven't got that figured out. But, you know, Thanksgiving around the corner. It's Tuesday today, Thursday. Before we jump in, let's just bullshit a little.
This is bullshit, yeah.
Tell me real quick, because I know some people will hate Thanksgiving. Some people
Uh-huh.
do not care. Like my sister's husband, he does not like turkey. He's not a fan for Thanksgiving. He just likes the part of like eating a bunch of food real quick and then watching football. Do you have like a favorite dish that you have? Or
So can I be honest?
Yeah.
I'm gonna piggyback on your sister's husband.
You're just like that too?
I'm such a picky eater. It's hard to like Thanksgiving.
See, I am too, but that's the thing. Like my mom has, over the years, like it's turned into like a restaurant style Thanksgiving, right? Where we have the turkey, and we have the stuffing, we have the mac and cheese.
Yeah.
But not each person, that's a lot of people, but like she does like 2 dishes per like kind of,
Person.
I don't want to say like per profile, right? Like there's some people who like spicy shit, so she tries to make a couple spicy dishes. There's some people who don't like any meat other than turkey, so she'll just do something like that.
So I always go to someone in my family's house. It's different each year. So yeah.
What is your go-to? Like
The
if you
dessert.
really, you don't like turkey?
They make this Jello pudding.
Jello pudding. What is
I
that?
like turkey. It's okay.
What's Jello pudding?
It's I don't know, man. It's Jello,
Yeah.
right? But it's got pudding texture.
So it's way softer.
It's like really soft. It's got strawberry chunks in it. It's pink.
How's it Jello then?
I don't know, man.
They just got gelatin in it.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
Who makes it?
my aunt. My aunt. She makes everything though, like dessert wise. She could have a bakery.
Yeah, everyone always covers one sector.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's like today. Have you heard of like briming your turkey?
No.
Briming your turkey is like the ultimate seasoning of your turkey, right? And that's like we do it 2 days in advance to make sure it's extra seasoned. So it's about a gallon of orange juice, a cup of apple cider vinegar.
Oh yeah, to have Thanksgiving right, you're starting cooking or prepping to cook tonight.
Yeah.
First thing tomorrow.
Yeah, we started this morning.
Yeah.
So like I was in the kitchen all day shredding shit, getting dirty because I was the one who had to cover the whole turkey. I had to brine it.
Uh-huh.
So we have to make this whole seasoning combustion together, put it on there and everything. Make sure it's covered from both sides. You got to put your hand inside the turkey and spread it
Oh
inside.
yeah, you
know.
like that, didn't you?
Oh, I loved it. You know, it's nice and wet and juicy in there. But yeah, if the turkey turns out good, you know who.
It's on you.
Yeah, it's on me. But if it turns out bad, it's not me. It was not me.
It's Mama's idea.
Yeah, that was all Mama's combustion. That was her all idea. I was just there to help out.
I'm gonna clip this and send it to your family after.
You have to. It's me in the group chat. But yeah, that's really
This turkey was ass. Bob, what you doing?
No, literally.
It was good. Oh, what? I made it.
I made that.
I made that.
Of course, that's the best turkey.
You want
guys have.
deep fried next year or?
That's what my dad usually does. My dad either does deep fried or smoked, and it turns out well. It turns out well. He likes to do it on like a
I feel
different.
like deep fried. Everyone was going crazy about it last year,
It's very dangerous.
and now everyone's going crazy about smoked turkey
Yeah,
this year.
it's very dangerous. Smoking is a lot simpler but more expensive.
But if you have a smoker,
Yeah, if you're someone who already smokes meat, it's light
it's
work.
a lot easier.
Yeah, it's light work. But to go out your way and go get the
Oh yeah.
that's a very
You
expensive
might as well
process.
just cook it.
Absolutely. But other than that, God bless. Can't wait to eat. We got Black Friday coming up. Everyone go shop 313exotic.com. We have 30%
I
off.
was 30% off.
All week. We have it started from today all the way going until Cyber Monday. And
Yep.
from Black Friday to Cyber Monday, we'll be having an exclusive deal going on just for wholesale. That'll be posted later on throughout the week, so make sure you keep touch on that.
Yeah, and tell your local smoke shop, he wants to be in there, or your liquor store, or your local chain.
Anywhere that
convenience
sells snacks
store.
or drinks, we'll take care of them.
There you go. Plug yourself.
But other than that, yeah, 313exotic.com, website, 313exotic, Instagram, right here.
There you go.
But now let's just jump into it. You know, our usual. We have our sports. We have a little updates going on in Detroit. We have some exciting, interesting news that'll be happening throughout the next few years.
I don't know if it's exciting to the people of Detroit, but we'll jump into it.
We'll talk when we get
It's
there.
kind of more controversial.
Yes and no. Yes and no, in my opinion. We also have some business, and we also have some political things going on that are coming towards the end of the year into the new fiscal quarter. So, Eric, please, let's jump into your specialty. Let's get into sports.
Let's
right
jump right into it. That you're looking at is 10-1 Lions.
I love it.
They won.
Of course
beat
they
the
won.
Indianapolis Colts
Yeah.
out of Lucas Oil Stadium last weekend, 24-6.
Eric, how crazy is that we're like a more strong and aggressive team and fan base. I want to say fan base,
That
but
looked like a home game.
well, that's what I'm getting at, right? So whenever we travel on the road, I wouldn't even say that the players play better, but it's just like we all show out all the way around. The fan base is insane. There's people that are literally from that. Like when we were in Houston for the game, there was people from Houston all wearing Detroit jerseys.
Yeah.
Detroit is
People move everywhere from Detroit.
literally, or just have family
A
out
lot
there.
of people, you got to think about how many people were born here because their parents worked in the automotive industry, then got laid off, and
And
then
that's
went back to where
or
they
got
were
moved
from,
somewhere else, yeah.
or are in the automotive industry themselves and got pushed or
into a
moved
different
where they're
factory or
from,
facility.
or any line of work. But I think Detroit's turning into a new America's team.
Absolutely. I don't know how Dallas still has that title.
I don't know. Regarding Detroit, though, next up, game against Thanksgiving,
Yes.
Thursday. We play a game on Thanksgiving
Yes.
versus Chicago Bears Thursday.
Yes, it's
we
going to
play
be at 12:30.
12:30. It's keen Thanksgiving. That's when us folks in Michigan get the appetizers out.
So
that's when Thanksgiving really starts.
I was just talking
12:30.
to a buddy about this, and I was like, how crazy is it that damn near half of Michigan is doing the same thing at the same time? That there's over 20 million motherfuckers sitting on the couch, drinking a beer, and eating either mac and cheese or chips or
You
something.
gotta think about it. Like, literally, everyone's like, when are you starting Thanksgiving? Start a game. When
Yeah.
you eating dinner? Halftime.
Yeah. No, that's it. For us, it's the end of the Lions game.
Yeah,
Because it's
same
too early
thing.
for us.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why I know a lot of people. A lot of people they stick to casual dinner time, which is 6. But for us, it's always been after the Lions game.
Right, or halftime of Dallas Cowboys, even though we don't want to watch that game.
No,
anymore.
absolutely not. And that's
It's the only football game out, so you kind of have to.
absolutely. And that's it's interesting to say that Detroit didn't show out the best of their ability. They played great. Don't get me wrong, we're a solid unit, but it's not to the best ability of how we could have played and how we should have played. We're starting to get tight on injury reports.
Yeah.
We have Amon-Ra St. Brown, who's facing a knee injury right now. We have David Montgomery, who's facing a shoulder injury, who are both questionable, potentially out.
Right.
Right now that's to be determined. I do not foresee them playing this Thursday.
Yeah.
Not worth it at all.
Alex Anzalone went out last week.
He was back in on Sunday.
I don't think so.
Everyone said he.
Season-ending injury, I thought.
No, I thought that's what I heard, but
That's what I heard. For the people watching this, if you're still watching, only real ones know I fell asleep at like the third drive, so I didn't really watch much of this game actually happen.
Real quick, look it up for me, just real quick. You see if Alex Anzalone played last week. That's what I'm just. Actually, don't worry about it. Because we'll fuck that up. But
I don't think he did based off of the injury report.
Because I was listening to a couple of videos that were saying he was there. But okay.
I think he was there, but I don't think he was playing.
Interesting.
There was a couple more people that got hurt. Then we're going to talk about that here because Lions actually have been recruiting, trying to trade some people.
They're trying, and that's the thing. That's the thing I love so much about the fucking Lions is that they have a team that no matter who's out, they have someone who's ready to step in and make a play. I forget what his name is, but his last name is Rodriguez. He's a smaller linebacker. Malcolm Rodriguez.
He just came back from being injured.
He's a star. He's a fucking dog. Bro is tiny, but he's got a fucking a heart of a lion that's ready to just go fight. We have Zadarius Smith, who's fresh in.
How was his game last week? He didn't have a set.
No, but he had a lot of pressures because what they're doing.
That's all that matters.
And so that's the thing that they're setting up right now is that I don't know if you saw it, but who is the defensive coordinator?
Aaron Glenn.
I thought he was the offensive. Aaron Glenn's defensive? Okay, so Aaron Glenn has been setting up the most craziest plays right now where you will
You
put.
see him chilling.
Yeah, so it's literally, you'll have two linebackers that are right here that are dropped, like, in the middle of the zone.
Yep.
Out of nowhere, they'll yell whatever the cadence is or whatever the play call is, and both linebackers will shift out and drop. To get in tight. Not drop, but get in tight, almost as in like a safety, or as in like a cornerback coverage.
Right.
The whole point of that is to confuse the line. So now that if they're out here, that means that the guy who's covering Za'Darius now has to go left. Whoever was the guy who was getting the guy to the left of Za'Darius has to now cover Za'Darius, and that means the center has to shift over left. Everyone has to shift over one guy to the left. But what they weren't expecting is that when they drop down the linebackers, the defensive tackles that they're supposed to be covering drop back as linebackers. So now the quarterback, Jonathan Taylor, right? He has no idea what to do.
Jonathan Taylor.
Or isn't that who the quarterback is? Quarterback?
For who?
For the Colts.
No, isn't it like Robinson?
No.
Yeah, he got unbenched last week and started.
No. They have a crazy. It's a young guy.
His name's not Jonathan Taylor.
Are you sure?
Positive. His name will be right there.
We'll check it. We'll have to give. Then that might be their running back then, or one of their receivers. There's someone on the Colts who's on the Colts named Jonathan.
But that's not his name.
Okay,
that's not the quarterback.
We'll double check it. But long story short, it threw the quarterback off like crazy because now he has no idea how to react because the two more aggressive guys, who are the linebackers, are coming in. The defensive tackles drop back. They're now playing the linebacker position. But the whole time, the point of it is that it pushed the weak linemen over to Za'Darius for Za'Darius to be able to get in and get the pressure.
There is a reason why the Lions defense, the last two games, haven't allowed a single touchdown.
So it's 10 straight quarters without any touchdowns. So that's 2.5 games that we have not allowed anyone to score.
And it started the Texans game.
I was about to say, it started after halftime of the Texans game when he said we have to get a conversion here. We need to make some turnovers in defense.
Yep. They haven't scored since.
Yep. It's crazy.
Crazy.
So I always loved the Detroit offense, but I'm starting to think that the defense might be just a little bit better.
Defense is what's making us happen, man.
I think so too.
Think about it.
They are so aggressive.
The Texans, we wouldn't have won if the defense didn't step up. And to talk about keep winning, Lions can clinch a playoff spot actually this weekend, 1 of 6 ways. I'm going to give you one scenario out of 6 ways, out of the 6 ways that it could happen that they could clinch their playoff spot this weekend. The Lions win, 49ers are going to lose, Cardinals lose, Seahawks lose, and the Bucks lose. That's one of the 6 ways the Lions could clinch their playoff spot, winning against Chicago Bears this weekend.
Yeah,
but
the chance
crazy.
of that happening, though, is super unlikely.
Yes
I don't know who they're playing, but I just don't see that happening.
Yes and no. I mean, it's
especially after the blowout with Green Bay and San Francisco.
That was horrible. But 49ers are not really good. And
no, Brock Purdy's out. Christian McCaffrey's doing work, but he's not anywhere at the caliber he used to be.
Does Purdy come back this weekend?
I have no idea, to be honest.
Okay.
I have no idea.
So something else that's shocking to kind of the sports community right now is we all know Dallas hasn't really been having the good season.
They haven't won a single home game yet.
They haven't won a single home game. Dak has been out. Is Dak back playing?
I don't think so.
I don't think Dak is back
playing.
But yet
they beat the Washington Commanders.
Yeah, well, every dog can find a bone.
Yeah, that was a parlay buster right there.
You know what's shocking to a lot of the sports fans out there right now is what Jerry Jones came out and said.
What?
Is that because a lot of people have said their head coach's job has been on the line recently.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's not coming back next season. His contract's up this season.
Yeah.
Jerry Jones said it's very likely he's getting a contract extension at the end of the season.
I think Jerry's the problem.
Jerry is the problem. He needs to sell the team.
Yeah.
If he ever wants to get back winning playoffs, go into the Super Bowl, it's kind of sad. It's like,
yeah, they need to start from scratch.
They have a great team.
They do. That's the thing. They got a lot of talent on that team, but it just doesn't seem as if they know how to actually use it or put it into like a motion of how to line it up.
I think a lot of people are saying they could have the first round pick going into this year.
And what they did on purpose?
Well, yes and no. But a lot of people are saying that it's very likely Shedeur Sanders could end up there.
Why? That makes no sense paying Dak Prescott that much then.
But that's what I'm saying. It doesn't make sense.
I would take
because
Travis Hunter all day.
It doesn't make sense here because they would have to pay out Dak Prescott on his
$270 million contract.
Yeah.
That'd be that's how you literally drown a company or a business. That'd be the stupidest decision you could make.
Right.
But that's crazy. Let's jump into Detroit talk.
Let's
you
jump
know,
in.
we got a lot going on right now. One thing I want to mention, since we're still on the sports topic, before you get into what you were talking about, updated news report against Jameson Williams. All cases have been dropped. Thank God. Luckily, his brother, who is a CPL license holder and who was the one in possession of his gun at the time, does not commit any laws against that. You know that if you, Eric, own a weapon, and I'm licensed to to carry, I can hold your weapon with your permission, especially if you're there.
Right.
You can't, oddly enough, even though it's your weapon. But because I'm licensed and you give me permission, well, there's nothing wrong with it. It follows all the statute laws. So it's very good thing to see that. I'm very happy for it.
I'm very happy too. You stole the thunder. That was number one on Detroit Talk today.
I'm sorry. Well, we're still in sports. I want to just
we're hopping a couple streets over. Still in downtown Detroit. We're gonna talk about
bring us down to the riverfront now.
We're gonna talk about a staple of downtown Detroit's riverfront. You see it in all the photos. If you're from Canada, you see it. It's the biggest.
If you know anything about Detroit, you know about this.
You know about this building. If you've seen any sort of photo of Detroit downtown, you've seen this building. It's called the GM. Well, General Motors owns this building. It's called the RenCen.
It's the RenCen. It is also the.
It used to be the headquarters for GM.
And but it's also the Cobo Center, or it used to be known as the Cobo Center.
Correct. It was announced today. Bedrock, Dan Gilbert, plans of redeveloping the property in hopes. They would have to tear down two of the high-rise buildings.
But they would keep the main one.
A lot of people, and we're going to talk about this in a second. A lot of people feel both ways on this topic. People are happy and excited for new beginnings. People are also very, very upset. Because this
bring in your side of the upset side, because my whole thing that I understand and that I know is that to keep that building open in general, to tear that building down, it would cost more than $1 billion or it cost more than $1 billion to tear it down.
Right.
Okay. That means you would require to shut down more than half the city because of the demolition process. You couldn't.
And this is what they're doing.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to. No. This is not what they're doing.
To tear it down, that's what you just said.
No, I'm talking about the main one.
But the two ones...
Irrelevant. They're barely even used.
Yeah, but they're just as big.
No, they're not. Because the main issue lies in the tall one, because it has foundational issues. They did an analysis that every year it leans about 2 inches, right? So after 12 years, that's 2 feet that it leaned. Any building that leans 2 feet is going to collapse. That's the whole problem.
So it needs to be torn down.
Yes, but it's going to cost more to tear it down than it is not to. So as of right now, it's kind of like the mobile thing, right? When they had the whole gas leak, or was that BP? Who had the gas leak in the Gulf Ocean? One of the big, was that BP? So BP had that huge gas leak, and it all could have been solved by them taking care of $100 million fix instead of paying $10 billion.
So you know what the problem is and why people are upset? Because it's not Dan Gilbert paying to have these buildings torn down. He's relying on public funding from Detroit to tear down these buildings.
I disagree, because that's not what they said.
That's literally what the article said.
That's not what I heard. I heard that it's going to be a lot of private funding that's going to be sourced through BlackRock. Or not through BlackRock, through,
it hinges a ton on public money.
So there's going to be public grants?
It's all public funded through the city of Detroit to tear those buildings down. That's where I'm going to see the people are going to have a problem with it.
Well, why do they have a problem if they just don't fund it?
Because their taxes are going to go up. That's where do you think the money's coming from? And we're not talking.
So then, how does he have?
We're not talking $1 million.
I know, but how does Bedrock have the right to reap profits from it?
But this is how Dan Gilbert has taken over half of Detroit and used public monies to.
Really?
Yes.
I thought a lot of it's been private funding.
You gotta look into Dan Gilbert.
You know what I'm saying? I thought a lot
Call
of
me later once you realize how big. He literally.
he's running a big Ponzi scheme that's just all paid by tax dollars, and he's just getting paid off of it.
There's a whole Facebook page that I joined because I thought it was funny. It's called.
So what, is he taking advantage of government
He
subsidies?
literally He's bought in hundreds of properties throughout downtown
No,
Detroit.
that I know. He owns half of Detroit.
Yes.
Like not literally, but
what he does is
figuratively.
he takes public funds to redo these properties and doesn't redo half of them.
yeah.
So he's taking the public money.
And only doing half the
taxpayers'
work,
money,
yeah.
and not doing any of the work, and it's always like delayed, court reason why it's delayed, and then eventually the building gets torn down and turned into a parking lot.
Interesting.
Because he owns half of those parking lots too. That
Yeah.
Parking. Look into him. I swear, look into him. He uses Detroit's public funds to fund. How do you think he funded that new hotel?
Well, that's what I was really trying to figure out is that who stood behind him, because that's like a bigger boss move than Trump in a sense.
But that's what he is to Detroit because he technically saved Detroit in 2008.
Wow. That's really interesting. No, definitely, and then they're willing to do what it takes because of how much
Who
you've
paid
done.
for Little Caesars Arena?
Yeah, which is absolutely. No, absolutely.
He's like Donald Trump in New York back in the 90s.
Yeah, no, and he's
He's
a
doing
thug.
it in Detroit.
Yeah, he's a thug. But yeah, it's gonna be residential living there. They're supposed to be doing a couple floors of luxury condos and apartments.
Which I'm so confused on because 6 months ago, when they announced GM was moving out of there, they said it couldn't be converted into
Yeah, it's a livable
residential
space.
living.
Yeah, but now they want to make it into a super complex where they're gonna have grocery stores, malls. You're gonna be able to walk from the Renaissance building into downtown Detroit, like a huge skywalk.
Can I ask one question? The key point of this conversation was the building's leaning 2 inches every year.
Yeah.
And it's gonna collapse.
Absolutely.
Why would they invest billions of dollars into it?
Well, because that's in the bottom part. They're only doing the first couple floors. It's the very top part that's leaning. So, like, hypothetically.
So are they gonna tear down the top part then?
Yes, but not now. So what I think that they're gonna do is hold it out until as long as they can, until they start getting fined for it, and in hopes that by that time they made enough money from everything downstairs that money will kind of balance out the construction up top. That's my theory.
Or kill hundreds of people.
Yeah, but that's gonna be a lot more. That's I'm not kidding.
It's like those Miami skyscrapers.
No, but I'm not kidding. That'd probably be the most expensive lawsuit in like United States history.
Well, think about it.
What is there to think about?
If they build a market and all of that.
Yeah. Make stupid money. Make stupid money from it. What else do you have for us on Detroit Talk? Is there anything else you wanted to add on top of that?
It's been a couple weeks since we did a podcast. Did we talk about Mike Duggan leaving the city of Detroit?
No, we did
yet?
not. We did not, which is super sad.
It is really
I think
sad
he did a great fucking job.
Great job. We went from a bankrupt city.
And it's the same thing with what's his name, Chief.
We talked about that.
Oh, we did.
Yes, that was a couple weeks ago.
But that's crazy.
Remember he went to
both of them.
So Mike Duggan, love him or hate him, I love him. In a sense of, we went from a bankrupt city to a city that people now want to live in.
Absolutely. People are moving back to.
People are investing into, to a city that's gaining wealth, investment grade credit,
yep.
buildings popping up.
Sports teams are booming.
Luxury stores are moving in. Sports teams are booming.
Yeah.
The downtown is alive again. It doesn't look gloomy and dark when you go down there.
Absolutely.
I think he said something the other day that every single streetlight in the city of Detroit is now working again. They went from 36,000 abandoned houses to less than 3,000 now.
So, let me tell you, Kevin, my brother, he's over 12 years older than me, right? And so I remember visiting him at Wayne State when he was going there to college over 12 years ago.
Fort Worth,
yeah.
Good area.
And, well, now it is.
It's a great area.
Now it is,
Houses are 300,000-400,000 right there.
Thank you. But when he lived there, everything was, what's it called? Bars and rails. It was the cheapest living you can find.
Should have bought up.
Every college student lived over there. That's where every college student lived, and it was like 2 to 3 people to in a condo, $1,000 a month. So $350 a person.
Right off the north end, right there, but
right. It was 5 minutes walking from campus, and then you are 2 minutes off the freeway.
What if I told you I sold a house right there in that neighborhood when I did real estate, $40,000 over asking?
Yeah, I believe it. And probably cash too. I absolutely believe it. 100%. That's why I remember when like Uber became really big. I had an Uber driver who was telling me that him and his family have been living in Midtown for the last 10 years.
They're cashing in.
They got their property. It's like a 2,000 square feet townhouse. They got for like 200,000, maybe a little bit less. And that same townhouse now, he was telling me, is almost worth like $750,000. That's insane.
Think about it. Put it in perspective, okay? Any other big city that's doing good, how much does it cost to live in LA? How much does it cost to live in New York? How much does it cost to live in Miami?
The only one that you can't count is Houston or Dallas.
Yeah, you can't.
Texas.
You can't because it's like living in fucking. How much does it cost to live in any major big city?
Yeah.
Chicago, New York,
In
Philadelphia.
a single bedroom apartment with one bathroom, minimum $2,000.
Yeah.
Minimum.
Yeah. Detroit, you can get a waterfront condo, 800 square feet.
Yeah,
one bed, one
for
bath.
$1,600,
For $1,600.
But see, that's the interesting thing, right? So, like, my brother's girlfriend's in town, and I'm telling her about all this, right? Like, I'm trying to move out. It's just really hard to move out because affording a $1,600, $1,700 a month place on your own is pretty expensive. And she looked at me when I told her that, and she was like, "What do you mean, $1,600, $1,700?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" She was like, "Well, I have a roommate, and we both pay, the rent's like $1,000 a month, $1,200, and we have a really nice place." I'm like, "That's nuts." Like that's Nebraska
Remember
for
we
you.
talked about
Yeah,
this
I know,
on
you
the
told
other
me.
night.
Yeah, you told me about it. And I'm just saying,
There's cheaper apartments.
it's not even about,
it's
no, but
just-
there's cheaper states too.
Right, there's cheaper states. There's cheaper apartments.
No, but in Michigan in general, okay, fine. For the bottom of the line of what I'm looking for,
$1,200.
yes. Still, that's expensive,
It
Aaron.
is expensive.
That's still expensive.
Because that's not including your gas, your electric, your.
Exactly.
Do you have a washer
parking,
and driver
yeah.
in there?
Mhm.
Or like,
Absolutely, and then your groceries on top of it, and then your subscriptions, everything. You need a TV, you need a place to sit on, you need, yeah, it goes on and on and on.
welcome to the real world.
No, absolutely. You know, I've been there, bro. I've been there, but that's
I know.
for me. That's not, if I'm gonna pay it, I at least want to enjoy it. That's my thing. I'm saying I got to be able to afford it, but I want to enjoy it at least.
You should get a condo downtown.
Yeah, me and you both. We'll split it.
No, just you.
Oh,
Shaq
okay.
can come visit you.
Oh, okay.
And go
That's
out.
where you. That's where you gonna live now.
You can get one for like 900.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like where?
Wanna pay cash?
What's his name used to live?
Scott.
Yeah. Yeah.
His studio that he used to have got expensive. They raised the price a lot on that. That was his first place. And
Did
that,
you live there?
no, I could not do a studio. I would live in that building, yeah.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You got a one bedroom, one bath.
I could.
Like an actual bedroom, and then.
Yeah, I
you
know.
can live-
But yeah, potentially. But I'd only do it for like a year, maybe even 6 months. I'm not a fan of the city. I like being in suburbs.
You didn't live in White Lake.
No. Maybe like Plymouth. Maybe Rochester.
Plymouth is so random, bro.
I'm just telling you.
You ever been to Plymouth?
Yeah, a couple times.
Okay,
It's mixed.
it's nice.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you can. It's not like it is like White Lake, but it's not like It's like there's the Waterford areas, there's the Commerce areas. But yeah, besides the point, I want to hop onto a couple other topics. I want to talk into a little bit of business rather than a little bit of politics right now. Right now, currently, I don't know if you saw, there's a Macy's employee who's underneath a lot of trouble. Macy's is claiming that they had an accounting scandal worth $154 million in hidden expenses over 3 years. Thank you very much. Macy's, the shopping.
I heard you.
yeah, the
She took
clothing.
150.
Well, we don't know about she or he, whoever, but they're saying that one employee is responsible for hiding $154 million in expenses over 3 years. Let me tell you right now, Eric, unless that one employee, God bless you, napravdo, which in Russian means the truth. When you sneeze and someone's talking about it, it's the truth.
Yakamash.
Yeah, Yakamash. But you're telling me one employee over 3 years hit $154 million? The only way that's possible unless that's Miss Macy or Mr. Macy.
That's a lot of
That's
money.
the only way that's possible. Because that means
That didn't affect their stock at all?
so very interesting you mentioned that. So that's the whole thing is that they got an extension to release their fourth quarter profit and loss. And so I just think that's really strange that a company that's been missing money for over 3 years, no vendors have asked any questions, the company hasn't asked any questions, and now they want to delay quarters earnings for just this quarter for 1 year. Eric, this shit sounds weird, and one person did it. Only one person got fired for the whole thing. So you're telling me one person has enough power and is responsible to hide, use, and cover
$154 million
over 3 years? You're telling me $50 million a year?
It's $51 million. That's
No,
fucking nuts.
I'm just using simple math, but yes. $51 million a year that someone covered up, and no one asked any questions.
And she still showed up to work every day?
Every day?
First $51 million I would have been out.
But that's the point. Like, she didn't even steal the money. It's just that the expenses were hidden. So that's what they're trying to figure out now. Is that now?
She stole the money.
I don't think so. I think someone else told her to do it. I think someone else got paid out of it. I think she got a really small portion out of it. And I think that someone else was trying to do a crazy insurance fraud scheme.
Or someone hacked the company under her ID.
No, not for 3 years. Because then they were just done it off rip.
Now, obviously, the security system's not that good if they let someone.
Absolutely.
$51 million a year. That's a lot of losses these companies are taking. But
That's right, especially for a company that's almost damn near bankrupt already. You know.
well, why do you think they're bankrupt?
So that's it's an interesting thing. I want to see what happens further with that. It's crazy. It's right around the corner. But when they were talking about it on the news, that they said that they made a promise to all their vendors that that we are still on track to pay off all of our invoices after the holidays. Da 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 da. So it just sounds like way too clean. You know, like way too.
No, it sounds like this just happened, and someone took all the money at once.
And they're like, no, this happened years ago. We've been fucking us over.
Why the fuck would they be telling their vendors if this happened 3 years ago? This shouldn't even fucking matter.
Absolutely, yeah.
If this happened years ago,
bro,
it shouldn't affect your business that's happening now.
I think the other way around. I think it would affect it to the maximum. That's why you would speak out now, because you're looking at the accounting and you're like, bro, we owe $40 million, and we have no money. And then over the last 3 years, we owe another $40 million. So we owe $80 million, and we're out 154.
Yeah, but don't they look at those things before they place those orders?
Eric, I absolutely agree with you, but clearly not. Eric, I absolutely agree with you, but clearly not. Because it's the same thing. That don't you think a company worth billions of dollars would notice $1 million gone, or $1 million unpaid? Or don't you think that the companies that they do business with would be like, hey, we have an invoice still open with you for $500,000. We're not gonna send you another $500,000 worth of shit.
Yeah, I mean.
3 years, Eric. 3 years. So clearly not.
I don't know, man.
Clearly not.
I don't fucking know.
I think this is the biggest insurance fraud throughout the whole industry.
She took it, bro.
I think everyone's trying to just get a
Or
cut.
they just don't have the money to pay it, so they're coming up with some Ponzi scheme and they're gonna file bankrupt, and they're gonna not own.
Here's a stretch for you. What if Macy's owns the vendors? The vendors pay up front to Macy's by supplying the clothes.
Yeah, but we know that's not true.
I wouldn't say that, because that's the same thing as saying like BlackRock doesn't own half the food industry. It does though. It just owns
it. Does, but like Macy's supplies like Nike, Lulu.
Absolutely, right? No, but I'm talking about these smaller companies. That's more than enough. No, they don't have any Lulu at Macy's or anything like that. But they have Nike, they have Puma, they have Under Armour, they have Kenneth Cole.
They have some of those designer shits there.
They have Kenneth Cole. They have
True Religion.
Yeah.
They have Cole Haan.
Yeah, Cole Haans. They have all that.
They have all that.
So that's what I'm saying. But like, you don't think those companies would be enough to
No,
pull off a Ponzi scheme like that? Maybe.
Those are the only companies not going under right now.
Fair enough. They're pushing it. They're pushing Pete. But yeah, that's one thing I wanted to talk about. Was there anything else that you wanted to talk about right now that's really going on in the business world before I get into, economics?
Crypto's kind of.
That's all. I was going to talk about that a little bit as we got into the
We'll talk about
politics.
it here in a second.
So we'll jump into it. Alone just throughout the past. Well, let's bring us back a week, right? Let's jump back into last week.
Okay.
Last week we were pushing numbers that were astronomically almost impossible. We were pushing more percentages and throughout a couple of days than we could have been pushing a whole year, right? We had Bitcoin jump from, if I'm not mistaken, 93,000 to about 99,000.
It almost hit 100K.
On some platforms it did hit 100,000. So on crypto.com, I hit 100,500.
How the fuck does it hit one on one platform?
I don't know.
Not the other?
I don't know, because that's the whole thing that happened with Dogecoin, right? On some platforms, with Dogecoin, it hits 76 cents, and on some other platforms, it hits 73 cents. And in some other places, it hits 71 cents. So the all-time high is very scattered. The all-time high for
It
Dogecoin
hit
is
40 this weekend at Robinhood.
absolutely, it hit almost 50 cents.
See,
It hit almost 50 cents. But that's a perfect example that the whole crypto market right now, over a week, is down 10%.
buy some Pepe.
Fuck Pepe.
No, buy it.
You gotta buy. Well, this is not financial advice, but you should be buying anything that's running on the Bitcoin blockchain.
Fuck all that.
Bitcoin blockchain. That's what you want to be focusing on. But yeah, it's very interesting to see on how it's all working out right now. Bitcoin was almost at 100,000. It's right now at 92,000, damn near 93,000. It fell almost 10%. We have Dogecoin that was at pumped down to 43 cents, pumped back up to 48 cents, and now about 40 cents. Right now's the time. You know, it's
Good time to be alive.
It's a great time to be alive, Eric. It's crazy, you know, and it just makes you like, do you take the money now? Do you take the money later? Do you buy XRP? Do you buy Solana? Do you buy, like, there's just so many, like, shit happening that you don't even know what to think of. So, I think it's going to be really interesting to see on how this pops off, especially, mark my words now, a week before and a week after inauguration. Shit is gonna be nuts.
It's gonna go crazy.
It's gonna go crazy, and I think that week before inauguration, I think that you're gonna see almost as big of a dip as you're seeing right now, where it's gonna be a quick sellout and buy back in and just let it ride for years until the end of the terms. So that's the main thing I'm really coming down to see. Stocks are chilling, decent movement. If you really want to get into some decent stocks, you got to get into AI right now.
AI is going crazy.
AI is where it's at in gas. Don't worry about electronics right now. Don't worry about medical or any of that shit.
AI?
Gas and AI. Yeah. Or precious metals.
Precious metals always do
Well, it's like it's getting more and more scarce. So that's the main thing is that I'm seeing right now with what's going on throughout the market. Are there any trends that you've been seeing or that you want to push out there before we get into a little bit of political talk? It's obviously the time of the meme coins. There's people that are turning $30 into fucking 30,000.
Crypto's kind of going crazy right now.
Especially these meme coins have no purpose.
Right. You gotta find them quick though. It's the problem.
It's really big.
Once they hit Robinhood, they're already too late.
No, you gotta be on Phantom.
Yeah.
Are you on Phantom?
No.
Phantom Swap.
No.
Phantom Swap's where you find all these things. And you go on pump. I'll give you this off the podcast. I might get sued for
From
this
back
shit.
in the day.
This is like some I've been doing. Like, remember that text I sent you a couple weeks ago? I was like, get back to the old shit.
Yeah, that's how you do it back in the day.
Yeah, I'm back to it.
You'll have to share it again with me.
Yeah, I'm back to it. It's
been 5 years.
It's annoying as fuck because all the transactions, because you have to do the fees for transferring.
Yeah, I know.
It's way lower than what it used to be.
I hope so.
It's not $40 and they take $10 from you.
$100.
No. On $100, you'll probably lose $6.
That's not bad.
No, 6% maximum, and that's through the whole thing. That's through every conversion you need to do. I remember we would lose $6 just on a conversion, one singular conversion. You know.
You need like 12 of them to get it done.
Exactly. So, I'll definitely show you that a little bit. That's the one thing. It's huge risk, huge reward right now because it's all about memes. It's all about just like what's trending right now. Because that was the biggest one. Was the chill guy one. Everyone's talking about this chill guy. Have you seen that trend? The chill guy trend? You haven't seen this? Really? This was like the biggest trend on the internet right now, and it's like when all my bros are yelling at me for being late, but I'm just a chill guy who likes to sit down and have an extra drink. And it's like a dog with his hands in his pocket, and he's just like standing there. You really? I'll show you, but that's the newest trend. It started off at 1,000th of a. It started just like Dogecoin, a millionth of a penny. It got up to 60 cents. It got up to 60 cents from a millionth of a penny. So there's people that me and you, I know him better than you do, but me and you both personally know someone who turned in tens of thousands of dollars into $250,000. And I haven't told you about this yet, but it's someone we both know.
Off that coin?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. off that one coin. In 2 weeks, they turned 30 grand into $250,000. So they 10x their money.
That's good money.
That's insane money, especially when they're around our age. That's insane money.
You have to show me how to do this again.
That's the thing. You at the same time that you can lose everything.
Yeah, no.
But that's the interesting thing right now. I also want to jump into a little bit of politics right now. You know, when we were talking about a little bit of business, I don't know if you saw yesterday. Did you see about what Trump announced? What's happening with Canada?
The tariffs? Yeah,
Yes.
I did see that.
Yes. It's not confirmed, nor is it official. Justin Trudeau posted earlier today that I had a great conversation with Mr. Trump. We're going to be working extremely hard to, have a good due diligence because we all are part of NATO, North American, or NAFTA, North American Free Trade Agreement. We should all be working together. I understand that we have to stop at drugs and all this crazy shit that's coming in, but there's other industries that shouldn't suffer or face consequences because of it.
Right.
So that's what I'm hoping that they really figure out, because what they were determining is that anything that is that is imported from Canada to America is a 25% tariff tax, no matter what it is. You bought it for $1,000, there's gonna be a $250 tax. You bought it for $1, there's a 25-cent tax. To a lot of people, it doesn't sound like much, right?
It's a lot when it adds up.
It really is. When in my industry, it's in wholesale, to make 30 to 40%, you are making very good money, right? Cut out 25% of it. You're not making 4 or 5 to 7 or 5 to 15%.
Common business.
You cannot survive on 5 or 15%. You cannot. You genuinely cannot. Especially it'd be different if this was like the beginning of what it was. On the scale of how everything is and how the expenses are, unless I moved triple the amount of product, it wouldn't be able to even fathomably work.
You think your stuff's gonna have tariffs on it?
So that's the thing that it really comes down to, is that my distributors are saying no. But I have other distributors from outside of Canada who are like, yeah, they're about to get fucked.
Yeah, because,
But I don't know. I think it's just the market. I think it's just them trying to be like, no, fuck him.
As a wholesaler,
yeah,
it depends on the relationship, because it could be a good way to squeeze an extra 25% out of someone based off of something.
So I think so too, right? I think that me personally, if enough people follow in the same trend, I think it can help the industry more than it can screw it. Because if we can get a foundation of what pricing has to be, it can help me a lot. Because then instead of my customers telling me, well, I know Bobby has it for $225, Eric has it for $240, and you have it for $260. What the fuck? But if everyone's getting shit for $2 and then everyone has to sell for $250, it just comes down to who do you like dealing with the best.
Pre-price.
It's just who do you want to deal with the best. That's what it comes down to. So I think that in a sense, it could screw us. But for people like me who's been in the industry for so long and been able to adjust, I think it can help, because that's what just happened with Japan. Japan had to do a whole adjustment because there was an increase on shipments, all the problems with China that they're having, all the tariffs that are coming in, taxes, so all the prices were increased. So now everyone were okay with it. Even though it was a decent increase, there were chips that went up by 50 cents to $1. So imagine you're paying $3 a bag, now it's $3.50, $3.75. You have no problem with it.
Yeah, it's 50 cents.
Well, right, because you're already selling for $7. So instead of you making $3.50, you're not making $3.
Right.
You can't complain about that.
You can't. It's the cost of doing business.
That's exactly right. That was really the main things that I had right now. One more thing I wanted to touch on before we hop out of here. Once you turn president or you get elected to be president, you're almost immune. And that's one thing I want to say. I don't want to say that in a positive way, in a good way, being gloating, but all charges have been dropped against former and current elect President Trump. There's nothing that they can go up against him anymore. And I'm happy for it because it shows a little bit of democracy and faith in our judiciary system. But at the same time, I feel like there's going to be some people who are going to be very, very upset by this, and it's going to cause them to act out on some very serious actions. I hope not, obviously, but with serious actions come serious consequences.
No matter what happened, either way, whether it was he didn't get the charges dismissed, he got the charges dismissed, there's going to be people pissed off.
Absolutely, no matter what. Absolutely, no matter what. I agree with that. But to that, Eric, we say, God bless America. Happy Thanksgiving. Everyone enjoy yourselves. We appreciate you. We'll have this up Thanksgiving Day. Eric will have this clipped for us by Friday.
Nope.
And we'll be good to go.
See y'all next week.
No, Friday. Cheers.